tech giants, banks, energy firms, online platforms, supermarkets and universities. Corporate actors have supplied the tools, financing and infrastructure, the legitimacy for this machinery over Asia. Weapons and data systems brutalized and surveilled Palestinians. Colonies spread, financed by banks and insurers, powered by fossil fuels and normalized by tourism platforms, supermarket chains and academic institutions. All have helped entrench apartheid and enabled the slow, inexorable destruction of Palestinian life. Corporate entities entangled in this ecosystem have long been on notice. Their products, services and corporate relationships directly link them to an economy of occupation that has functioned in violation of peremptory norms, the Fourth Geneva Convention and the Rome Statute. Under the UN Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights, even this minimal connection triggers a clear responsibility to use their leverage to end abuse. But in this context of Palestine, we are not talking about isolated specific incidents of wrongful conduct. The severity of the structural and sustained violations and crimes at issue has been confirmed by the International Court of Justice and has led to arrest warrants being issued by the International Criminal Court. In this context, what action could possibly be sufficient to rectify these violations and the corporate connections to them? The answer is simple. There is a prima facie responsibility on every state and corporate entity to completely abstain from or end their relationship with this economy of the occupation, especially as it has transformed into an economy of genocide. In the face of all this, too few have disengaged in the last 21 months. Armed companies have turned near-record profits by equipping Israel with cutting-edge weaponry to unleash 85,000 tons of explosives, 6 times the power of Hiroshima, on Gaza. Tech companies provide dual-use infrastructure that is utilized as a weapon of mass targeting and killing. The machinery of the global construction equipment giants is raising Gaza to the ground, preventing the return and reconstruction of Palestinian life. Global energy conglomerates have fueled these assaults with coal, oil, gas, while the same infrastructure has been deprived to the Palestinians. No water, no electricity, creating the conditions of life calculated to destroy. While major global banks have underwritten and purchased Israeli treasury bonds, bankrolling the devastation at a time of gaping military budget deficits and plummeting credit rating. The 40 entities named in my report, alongside their parent subsidiary licensees and franchisees, are just the tip of the iceberg, illustrative of this system that entangles many, many more. What I exposed is not a list, it is a system, and it is to be addressed. Now, my expectation is that the OHCHR database, the Working Group on Business and Human Rights, and lawyers, investigative journalists, and prosecutors globally will take this framework and secure that what states have failed to achieve, accountability. And we must reverse the tide. As I conclude, let me say, member states must impose a full arms embargo on Israel, suspend all trade agreements and investment relations, and enforce accountability, ensuring that corporate entities face legal consequences for their involvement in serious violations of international law. And corporate entities must urgently cease all business activities and terminate relationships directly linked, contributing to, and causing human rights violations and international crimes against the Palestinian people. At this existential moment for the Palestinian people, trade unions, lawyers, civil society groups, and ordinary citizens should encourage such behavioral change from the side of corporate entities and governments by pressing for boycotts, divestment, sanctions, and accountability. What comes next depends on all of us, and I truly believe that together we can make it. It's not a question of if, it's just a question of when. Thank you.
No. Merci.
Thank you. Pursuant to our procedure, we will begin by hearing from the countries concerned. I can see that the delegation of Israel is not in the room. I would now like to give the floor to the distinguished representative of the State of Palestine. You have 5 minutes.
شكرا سيد الرئيس.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. At the outset, I would like to express our thanks and appreciation to Ms. Albanese for preparing this report in spite of difficulties and constant threats. Lastly, from the U.S. mission in New York, accusing her of anti-Semitism. The same happened with former SRs, the ICJ, the ICC, the UN, the EU, and several U.S. universities. In fact, anti-Semites are those who support the genocidal government. Mr. President, this report comes to complement the report of last year on genocide. The report provides a comprehensive analysis of how an economy of occupation became an economy of genocide, backed by a series of transnational corporations, from the industry of weapons to AI and digital surveillance. The report